spend your Sundays looking for something fun to do? Usually they're so drab and dull.
Boring.
We have just the thing for you. November 28th, the Old Rock House and Rock Paper Podcast present Debbstock 2021, featuring music by Nick Gusman and the Coyotes.
Roll, natchez, roll, till all my trouble lets me go. Roll, natchez, roll, and carry away my soul.
The Screechin Halts.
Where we both know this is wrong, but I'm begging you on my knees, baby, please, to lead me on.
One-way traffic.
That's all I've got to say. I know you've been missing me one day.
And Spankonya. It's Debbstock 2021, November 28th from 3 to 7 at the Old Rock House, 1200 South 7th Street, St. Louis, Missouri. Tickets on sale at metrotix.com. Debbstock 2021, a benefit for Glioblastoma brain cancer. Brought to you by Old Rock House and Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of the show. Today's features comedian, actor, and chef Henry Phillips. I had a great time hanging out with Henry, talking about his special, Neither Here Nor There, which is available on YouTube. His series, Henry's Kitchen, which is one of my absolute favorite things on the internet, and all kinds of stuff, including his work in Silicon Valley also. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I do want to remind you, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Roughneck Beard Company and American Rambler, located here in St. Louis, Missouri, over in the Maplewood area off of Manchester. Stop in and visit them, or shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com. Use my code RPP15 for exclusive 15% off your purchase of your favorite beard oils, your beard balms, junk powder, or one of my personal favorites, the Roughneck Beard Batter. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's officially beard season. With fall and No Shave November right around the corner, this is prime time to grow a beard, and Roughneck Beard Company has you covered. Using a good beard oil from day one of growth sets the stage for a faster, fuller, healthier growth. Avoid dry skin and the dreaded beard itch by combining with Roughneck Genesis for a vitamin punch that really gets things moving. Stop in today or order online to build your kit and kick your growth into high gear. Again, everything at roughneckbeardcompany.com. And don't forget RPP15 during checkout for 15% off your purchase. You know, you heard it from Tony in the intro, but Debbstock is happening on November 28th, Sunday, 3 to 7 at Old Rock House. Join us over there for a fun-filled day of music, including One-Way Traffic, Nick Gusman and the Coyotes, Spankonya, and the Screechin Halts. And tickets are $15 in advance, $20 day of show, and currently available at metrotix.com. I would love to see you all there. This is obviously something very near and dear to my heart, and I want to help try to raise a bunch of funding and awareness for those dealing with glioblastoma brain cancer, and see if I can't help make it a little easier for them. And so I would love to see you there, and let's pack it out and have a great time doing so, raising a bunch of money for a good cause. So thanks, everybody. Of course, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. You can hit me up on the socials. Feel free to email me, rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. And with all that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Henry Phillips.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Hey, this is Henry Phillips, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcasts.
Rock Paper Podcast.
This is beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats is the Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
This is a song that goes out to anybody out there in this room tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. Hold on. You guys hearing that all right? All right, cool. Shit. Don't you wish they just had some kind of pill that you could take where you could instantly be able to be one of these guys who just kicks ass on the fucking guitar? Just like Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan. You wouldn't have to practice all damn time. You just take one of these pills and play like that guy for like an hour. Like, let's say you're at a party and it's late at night, you had to impress some hot girl at the party. Or maybe later on in the relationship, you had to impress the parents. Because they didn't think you had any other good things about you, and they thought you drank too much, and just overall, they just thought you were kind of a shitty person. You wouldn't have to worry about all the paying dues for years and suffering for your art by suffering, like, you know, just 20 years of a grind, and then you're finally doing your hour special in a place that holds like 30 people instead of like shooting at the big time where you got like 20,000 girls and they're just flashing their underwear and throwing their tits, and you wouldn't have to worry. Sorry. Throwing their underwear and flashing their tits at you. Taking their tits off and throwing them at you, whatever, sorry. You wouldn't have to worry about all that shit that goes along with trying to get that fucking good. Wouldn't that be great? If they had a pill like that, wouldn't that be neat? Well, everybody, I actually happen to have one of these pills on me right now. We're gonna take this and see if it works. I've never tried this before, but you know. Thanks. I also, thank you. I want to say, I sell these pills for $10 a piece after the show if anybody wants to come up and... Wouldn't that be fucking great? If they had a pill like that, wouldn't that be neat? But they don't. Thank you, good night. I'm not leaving. I just like to say thank you, good night at the end of the song. It sounds like a cool rock star thing to do, but by the way, I did that song. I was in Peoria, Illinois, of all places, and a place called the Jukebox Comedy Club. Late Saturday night, I did that song, and this girl in the audience yelled at me right at the part where I take the pill and then started playing the guitar. She yelled at me. She went, "Bullshit." And I want to say, she's right. I'm not really taking a pill and then playing the guitar. It's just part of a whole comedy act, you know, that I'm doing up here. But I wanted to make sure that everybody knew. All right. I I guess nothing gets past her. But anyway.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Henry Phillips.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, good to be here.
This is cool. I just happened to catch that you were coming through St. Louis, and I was like, hey, well, this would be kind of cool to hang out and talk and get to catch up.
Yeah, I love it here too, by the way. Well, I'm on a little mini tour. I just finished Wichita, and I'm going to Wisconsin next week. This weekend here in St. Louis, opening for the band LUDO at the Pageant Theater, which will be a lot of fun. But just walking around here, well, the weather's great this time of year, but, I just went to the Amtrak train station around the corner, and it's just made me long for my days of just being on the road for long periods of time, and, wanted to hop on there and go to Albuquerque or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chicago, whatever.
All right.
But I love it. I love traveling.
Yeah, we jumped on Amtrak one time. My buddy Sean's bachelor party, we took like 14 guys up to a Cards Cubs game in Chicago, and we rode the Amtrak up there, and I didn't realize it, but like I know they sell alcohol, but you're allowed to like bring it on. So like the guys brought like a cooler and started drinking a couple of beers, and then somebody had like a bottle of like Goldschlager for some reason, and starts passing this bottle back and forth between the seats, and then they were like, yeah, you guys can drink, but you can't drink like that. Like, so they, apparently that's Goldschlager where they draw the line. That's frowned upon. So,
wow, they're going to lose all their Chicago people.
Yeah.
Right. No, I think you were on the Southwest Chief, which is the one that goes from L.A. to Chicago, and it passes all these places in between.
Yeah.
And I've taken that one. I wonder how long that would be. Maybe like 12 hours or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Goldschlager. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Right. We are actually hanging out here at Greg's house.
Yeah, Greg Warren,
who's become a good buddy of yours for sure. Right?
Good friend. Yeah. Well, I think we first met about 20 years ago in Cincinnati at the club Go Bananas, and next time we hung out was Houston. He's a big traveling guy himself, more so than I am even. And, he was sort of everywhere, so we bumped into each other quite a bit and got along great. And then he moved out to LA for a while, so we hung out there.
Yeah. I'm sure he kind of showed you around St. Louis.
Yeah.
Taking you all the little hidden spots.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you have certain favorites that you like coming back to visit?
The Cheesecake Factory is good. Well, I like the Central West End. That's where Brennan's is. That's a great little neighborhood. I've played at Brennan's a few times. I love that place. Greg turned me on to that. I think that's when we were doing our sketch comedy thing. And then also the Loop area. That's great.
Right.
Love all the restaurants there, but it's great. I remember us going bowling next to the Pageant Theater. Is that still there?
Yeah.
There's a little bowling.
Yeah, it's called Flamingo Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great little place.
Yeah.
And it's really a great city.
Yeah. How do you ever try the Emo's Pizza?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the St. Louis style, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some people are pretty divided on it. Like it's one.
I remember that. Yeah. Last time I was here, I remember people. Last time I was here was for a comedy festival. I think it was about 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and my buddy from high school moved here to St. Louis, and we both kept hearing about Emo's Pizza, so we went in and we loved it. I mean, my thing on pizza is like, it's pretty hard for me not to like whatever kind of pizza it is. But some people were like adamantly against it. What do you think that is? Is it?
I don't know. Just the I guess like the cracker thin crust and
too thin for they're more bread people. I
guess.
don't know.
And then a lot of people have a weird thing with the Provel cheese, being that it's like it's not mozzarella or whatever, or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to go out to LA then because in LA they put pineapple, and they put broccoli on it. And I'm just like, well, you're putting broccoli on pizza? That's absolutely sacrilegious, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. It's hard to mess up a pizza for me.
Take the broccoli off.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's where I probably would draw the line. No broccoli on my pizza.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm really glad you are here. And like I said, you are opening a couple of shows over at the Pageant with our friends in LUDO. I know I did one of these with Tim Convey a long time ago, and had a lot of fun hanging with him, talking more about his comedy. But of course, like he's very well established musician as well with LUDO, and
Tim and I worked together for a week down in why am I blanking on the name? Cape Girardeau.
Oh yeah,
and I got along great because we're both musicians and we're doing comedy, and it'll be fun to see him.
Yeah, so that's October 28th, 29th, and 30th at the Pageant here in St. Louis. But like I said, you're on tour. You can hit up henryphillips.com for more dates and coming to a town near you.
2 dates in Wisconsin next week, and then I've got Fresno, California, and then I just booked Key West. So not a very strategic geographical tour, but pretty much going to every corner. But it'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, you said something about getting to do a little sightseeing. Is that part of it too for you? Like, get out and...
Yeah, well, the Key West thing, I was just going back and forth with the owner of this club in Key West, and we can't guarantee that it's going to be a big payday because I don't know how many people I can draw in Key West. I really have no idea. I know that here and a lot of places I've had the Bob and Tom show over the years, or there's a lot of people that watch YouTube or some of the independent films, but Key West, I have no idea. And so I thought, well, if he can guarantee me the amount that would be like to cover the travel and a little bit more after that, then I'm willing to take a gamble because the worst that can happen is I'm going to Key West, it's like you could do a lot worse than that.
Sure.
But yeah, in some towns, I don't want to mention the names because I don't want to alienate potential markets, but like Evansville, Indiana. No, I'm just kidding. I pick on that one because I did a week there that I didn't care for. It turns out there's this whole other part of town that was really, really pretty cool. But it's like a college town or whatever. I would have never known it where I was staying. And I was like, boy, this is getting to be a little bit of a grind. I don't know if I could handle being here for more than 4 days or whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I'm glad you made it here to St. Louis, and like I said, getting to catch up a little bit. I've been a fan for a long time now, and I don't remember exactly what was the first thing that I discovered, how I discovered your stuff, but I mean, I know I've definitely seen the Bob and Tom clips. I've seen your Comedy Central Presents, and your Punching the Clown is a favorite of mine, and so been like I said, go way back, and but so it's been fun to follow along with your career, and then as you we just got the new special out there now and stuff, and so you. So, which is now available on YouTube also, and henryphillips.com. But you got to a lot of these things, like some of these jokes have been on other albums, but it's nice to see it like in a proper, special like this.
Yeah, I had done a half-hour special with Comedy Central way back in 2004, and I thought it was okay, to be honest with you. I had already done Premium Blend, which went really well, and a couple of other Comedy Central sets that went well, but I'd kind of burned through my opener and my closer. So unfortunately, when you're watching, I had only been on the road maybe for 5 years or something, but when you're watching that special from Comedy Central, you're seeing a lot of, dare I say, more of the sort of filler material that hadn't been completely honed yet, and so I thought it went fine because I still think it was good stuff. But after so many years of not having a special out there that really represented what I do,
right,
I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a full hour, and it's going to have special guests, and I'll do songs at the piano. I'll do stand-up for 10 minutes. I'll do guitar, and just do everything that I've got right out there, and even opened with a pretty funny bit with my buddy Brendan Walsh, and with a little sort of sketch thing, and I'm real happy with it. A guy named Steven Fine Arts and Eric Olson, they were producers on it, and Steven was the director who also directed Eddie Pepitone's specials, and so sometimes you got, and there was definitely material being repeated, but it had been updated, and it sort of fit into context a little bit more. So I just kind of, and I also looked at it like, I don't know if anybody really saw the Comedy Central one, They played it a few times, but I don't think it really made a big splash.
Sure. But yeah, like I was saying, it's just now to have it all, really well done, very polished. I mean, it looks, awesome, just like very well shot in the club there where you're at. And so it was nice to have it all, like I was saying, and also showcase the piano and everything else. So I really liked it a lot, and that's neither here nor there is available now, I said. So check that out. And
yeah, if you go to henryphillips.com, you can see all these things we're talking about.
Yeah. But I mentioned Punching the Clown, and I saw somebody reference it. I think it was maybe a Facebook comment or something, and he's asking about something about it. And then I think, did you say something in regards of like maybe working on a new film or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Greg, the director, we've made 2 movies now at this point, Punching the Clown and Punching Henry. And I think I posted a clip from Punching Henry, and then we're working on we're always working. We're working on another screenplay. We're nowhere near the knowing whether we're going to be able to get funding and all that stuff, but we're definitely enjoying the process of writing. You know? It feels like old times. So that should be pretty cool.
So obviously you're keeping very busy with stand up and performing, and then you have the acting and everything that you've been the Highwayman. Also is another get to show some acting in there, and but so I didn't know if do you just enjoy the balance of juggling both sides of these things, creativity?
Yeah, for me what's always been important is just to keep putting stuff out there and be creative, and I don't like doing the same thing for too long. So, when I was on the road, it really got to a point after literally about 20 years where I was kind of like, all right, well, it's time to start focusing on something else. And filmmaking was really what I wanted to do. And I was lucky enough to get some acting work on Silicon Valley. I did 7 episodes of that on HBO. And there was also, the current climate of content creating being an actual thing that you can make your living doing has really worked for me. I mean, I love it. Well, you're doing it with podcasts. It's like we're just in an age now where you can create things and you can jump from one type of thing to, I might do a podcast one day. I don't know, but I definitely enjoy making YouTube web series. I have 2 of them, so I've got Henry's Kitchen, and that's got a soundtrack album, so that gets all my music, out there. It's like an outlet for other creative things. And then also The Highwayman, which is sort of like a throwback to these kind of late 70s or early 80s kind of hour-long dramas that they would have, like The Incredible Hulk or $6 Million Man type thing, or Action or whatever. And just about a guy who thinks he's helping, but he actually makes things worse for everybody. And but yeah, I've been having a blast making that and learning about filmmaking, and I've got supporters. So through Patreon, I've been actually able to finance it with fans that I've picked up over the years that have been incredibly supportive about stuff. And well,
that's cool too, because you get to work with all your friends, making that stuff, and there are no rules to any of it. You can just make whatever you want and have some fun with it. And so I know Brandon Walsh, he mentions also
he was in it, and my friend Chris Fairbanks, Steve Byrne, Steve Gillespie. There's been a lot of comedians that have been in there.
Yeah, but so you can get involved and back the project on Patreon there, and get So there's a couple seasons, right?
Yeah, 3 seasons now. I've
Yeah.
got like 24 episodes out there.
So yeah, is that something we're gonna be new ones coming soon?
Oh
or-
yeah. I mean, it's taking a little bit of a break since I'm on the road. I
Right.
can't really do them, but yeah, I'll be getting back started with that in November.
Nice, yeah. That's it's pretty silly stuff, man. I
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's just funny too, seeing your the different characters you become with your wigs and different stuff. So it's just like it's always a lot of fun to. And then of course I'm a big fan of a lot of the other special guests, so it's funny to see those guys in there too.
Yeah, no, a lot of great one. Ever Maynard, who's a local comic in L.A., Matt Knudsen, Cecily Nobler. There's just a lot of people, and it's been Francisco Ramos. I try to have pretty much comics in every single one.
Right. You mentioned Henry's Kitchen, and that's another one I've been following for. I didn't realize until I was like pulled it up today. But that's like been going on like 10 years now.
10 years, yeah. 2011. I think June or July was the first one, and that was I think it was July. I did one of them of how to make French toast, and I think I sent it to a friend of mine and said, hey, don't post this yet, but I'm just curious to see if you think it is funny. And then he just posted it right away, and a lot of people watched it. It was like several thousand views, and I was like, oh, wow, that's cool because that was when everybody was trying to figure out how can I get something to go viral or whatever. And then so I did another one. I did a follow-up, and it was called Chili for One. And I remember actually Greg Worm was in town when I was doing that one, and he showed up while I was in the middle of filming it, and I put it on the air, or on the air. I mean, on YouTube, and it went viral. It was like over 1 million views. And I was like, wow, this has really turned into something. So I started making them ever since. And then when it got to be too difficult to keep up with, I put it on Patreon, and then once it was being supported, then it became an actual job. And so that was pretty fun, and I've been making them at least once a month for the last few years.
Right. Is you ever gonna like put together a proper cookbook with it or anything?
Oh yeah, I have 2 cookbooks.
All right.
Yeah,
I didn't
those are
those.
on there. Let's see, how would people get those? Amazon.
All right.
Yeah, you can get them on Amazon. The Henry's Kitchen official cookbook,
Yeah, I got
Volume 1 and Volume 2.
I've been slacking. I need to get those.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just it's so funny, man.
they're also gifts for people who join the Patreon too.
Oh,
so.
very cool. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Probably Chili for One. I definitely remember that. I went back and I watched French Toast this morning. As I was getting ready, just a refresher and stuff. Went back to the beginning, but yeah, like I was saying, those are it's really goofy, and just. But I love that that you've stuck with it. I mean, so many people have these fun ideas where it's like, yeah, okay, this is a good idea, and let's do this, and then they kind of bail on it after a little while.
Yeah, you have to do it. That's a really important thing. Every time you say to yourself, I think a fun thing would be blank. Whatever business you're in, you could be, in marketing or whatever. But like whatever idea that you have, just instead of just saying it, do it, because then your whole life changes. And that it's really, I have so many things that I have written down in my little note app on my phone of things that have to get done at some point, like a funny scene would be, this, and then it's like at some point I have to do that. But yeah, at this point now I'm looking back going, all right, well, I finally feel pretty comfortable with how much I've been doing. I didn't feel that in the 2000s, where I don't think the technology was quite there. Nobody I knew really had a great camera unless that was something that you were really into. But now everybody can, so yeah, I've got 2 feature-length movies at this point, 2 web series with, dozens of episodes, and then albums, comedy special, cookbooks, so it's like, yeah, you just got to keep putting stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And it makes you feel more fulfilled, I think.
Is there a certain recipe that hasn't that you like? Do you come up with all those, or does people start?
Usually I just browse YouTube or Instagram, and see what people are making. Like cloud eggs was a big one for a little while, and I was like, oh, that sounds like something that would be difficult to make. So I went on there and started looking for cloud eggs, and then the next step is I know it's going to come out like crap because I don't know how to cook. So if I just tape myself trying to make it, then it's gonna be the desired result. And then I also try to look for what are some particular physical sort of bits that I can do in the kitchen, with the blender and the egg beaters and stuff like that. I try to come up with physical gags in there. Sure. And then I also try to write actual jokes for it that I can, but specific types of jokes, so that it's just sort of me ranting while I'm stirring my stir bowl of flour or whatever. And then I have usually a musical montage in there.
It's so good because every time I click one of those recipe, links or whatever, they give you like this giant long story of that you really have no interest in. All you want is the recipe.
Yeah.
So like when you're sitting there rambling on your rants, like it's like exactly what I feel like. They're like telling me this long story. Like,
yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, these snickerdoodles were things that, my grandma used to make. And when I was a kid, I used to, make them with her. And I have so many fond memories. And I think there's some reason that they're filling up the space. I think the longer you're on the website, you can show that to your advertisers or something. But it's a scam, And it's like, but yeah, I'm doing the same thing with the YouTube videos. I go to Wikipedia and try to find whatever the background is, like the... what was the one that I did? Eggs Florentine or Eggs Benedict, one of those where it was like, according to Wikipedia, some Wall Street guy went into the Waldorf Hotel drunk or hungover and said, just put a bunch of eggs and shit on my plate. and then I get it kind of wrong, but that's how the Eggs Benedict was born.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I also appreciated the joke that you put chef on your website.
Oh yeah.
So
always fun to see if people are going to think that I'm a real chef and come by.
So you say you don't know how to cook, but have you accidentally learned some things along the way?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
You definitely learn from, going to YouTube, and you can learn what not to do. One thing that's very interesting is if you watch the really, really high-end professional ones, like somebody making, what was the one that I made recently? It was kind of ambrosia, which is like marshmallows and fruit salad or something like that, there'll be like a really, really hot chick, doing like, teaching you how to make it. And then she's like, whatever you do, don't use, whatever ingredients are in there that are full of sugar or full of fat, it's like, and don't use the maraschino cherries because those are just complete sugar or whatever. And, but then you'll go to other videos and it'll be somebody who uses all that thing and they look so much more unhealthy than the people making this. So you start going, oh, wow, there does seem to be a correlation between how healthy someone looks and what they eat. It's really interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy, Paula Dean's recipes, like always call for like a stick of butter. So.
Well, that's true. I mean, Anthony Bourdain once said, I was watching an interview with him, and he said if people knew how much butter was in their food when they went to a restaurant, they would never do it because it's like literally like a half a stick of butter in every entree that you're having because that's their way of making food that you don't make at home. They just put when you're at home, you can make the ingredients and you're not likely to put that much in it, but that's that's how they keep you coming back. You know, it's just like crack. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Food's always been I don't know. I grew up in the kitchen with my mom. You know, learned to cook from her, so it's always been a passion of mine. I enjoy like your take on it, being that, you know, these are a lot of the videos that you do see. So it's just funny. That's why it makes me. So when you're a fan of like that, you actually know what's going into all this stuff, like, and then you get the jokes even more and stuff. I feel like, so it's like, because I've been there too. Like even like when you're saying I didn't have this, so I grabbed this.
Oh yeah, substituting. Yeah.
Like that's part of the fun of it too, is just like grabbing something like and winging it and like, oh, hope this works.
Something that looks like it. Yeah, it's like, I don't have any maple syrup, but I have soy sauce. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, man. So you again subscribe to Henry's channel on YouTube, and you can find all those there and binge through those, because there's some great stuff in there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You so I don't know, what is there like an end goal with those, or is it just
I don't know. I've talked to some people about how we could turn it into something. I like the character. Maybe if somebody wanted to do an animated version of it, like, that could be fun. I'm really surprised at how many kids like it.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I say bad words and stuff like that, but it's like I'm completely happy with that. That's cool. But I think that kids usually like to see adults try and fail at stuff because they're so used to being talked down to by people that it's fun for them. But yeah, I guess, you know, I'd like it if the videos were reached a higher level of viewership, you know, or patronage, so that I could make, you know, do more interesting things with the budget, you know, have more special guests, or even ultimately do a real production, you know, where I could rent out a space for it or something like that. I did these videos called The Master Class, and that was through a company called Thrillist, which does a lot of online content, including cooking stuff. And they had me do 8 videos, and those are on there, and they were fun. They were a totally different look, you know, they were high budget, and that was a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do think with that there would be, and obviously elevated content, but at the same time, some of the beauty of those videos is the poor cuts. And, you know,
totally.
The very, you know, all the different things. So
yeah, it was a different joke. It was more,
right.
It was more like, what if you had all this nice scenery and everything, but the guy in the front of it sucks, you know? Right. Yeah. So it was like it was a variation.
Yeah. But so I don't know. Yeah, but it would be interesting to see as it taken to the next level, see what we could do with it. But
yeah,
I enjoy all that stuff, and like so you can Patreon is kind of, like you're saying, become this cool hub for creatives to find, to, you know, whenever you know, you've already have this audience from touring and stuff, and and you can these people can find this home to back you and support these creative projects and stuff. So
I love it, because I can honestly say if it weren't for me starting that, there'd be no more Henry's Kitchen, and I feel like I've done some really fun ones since then. So yeah, I mean, I literally have been at restaurants and stuff where this has happened to me several times, where the waiter will make a joke and say like, hey man, I hope you're not going to be the one making the food back there, you know? And then it takes me a second to try to figure out what they're talking about. And then I'm like, oh, this guy's seen the Henry's Kitchen videos, you know? It's happened a lot. It happened at the airport, one of the TSA guys, you know, and it's fun for me because it's like YouTube is really people from all over the world and in every kind of demographic that you can imagine. And it's really interesting, you know. It's like it could be 65-year-old, or it could be, you know, a teenager, you know. I remember being in Montreal, and I was about to work the comedy club, and there were a bunch of teenagers there, or not teenagers. No, these were probably early 20s. It was like 7 or 8 people, and I was just walking up, and they were asking who the comedian was, and they're like, "Oh, it's Henry Phillips. He's been on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. He has a Comedy Central special or whatever." And they're like, I don't know. I never heard of the guy. And then they start walking away, and then they see me, and they're like, "Oh my God, the cooking guy. What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go perform." "You're the performer? Oh man." And then they all bought tickets, and I was just like, wow, that was really weird. So that's when I kind of knew that it was really worth it to keep trying to expand that thing. Cause I think I was hitting on some nerve with people with that.
Yeah.
Well, it was free for one thing, so they didn't have to have the Comedy Central subscription or whatever in order to know who I am. But also, there was just like you said, a cheapness to it that maybe people find more interesting than everybody's seeing high budget stuff all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, well, I know, like you said, you mix in some of the physical. There's like kind of, slapstick kind of a vibe to some of the stuff, just like there's all these different jokes. You're bringing in a lot of different elements of it. So it's just, but I think the low budget part of it all, like it helps draw everybody into like, this is very relatable. This is, this could be any guy and stuff. And so, I don't know. It's really a kind of a perfect mix of all that stuff, everything. So it makes it a lot of fun.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I mean, onward and upward. I'm going to keep making those. I have no reason to ever stop. And then, hopefully there's still an audience for independent films.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed the process on the first 2. Everybody's kind of watching everything on TV now. So I don't know how people are going to watch films unless those are crowdsourced as well. But because nobody's really going to invest in it if they can't picture a way that they can make the return back.
Right. I went to just over the last weekend. I went to friends of mine put together a independent film festival for in the horror genre, and some of them were like shorts, and there was a couple features and things, but. Anyway, it was I don't know, it was exciting to be a part of it, and then get to actually meet some of the filmmakers afterwards that were there to be a part of it and stuff. So
that's great.
So I think there's a lot more work, and you got the actually doing the footwork like that, like and getting your product out there and stuff. So it's hard to. It's a difficult business for sure, just like anything. But if it's something you believe in, it makes it a lot easier to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. But, and it's not as weird nowadays to be crowdsourced as it was in the beginning.
Right.
Remember, people were like, well, if you want to make a movie, you pay for it. Why are you asking people? But now it's sort of acceptable in this new age that we're in.
I do think it's cool, like, to be involved in it, like from the ground floor and like kind of thing. Like, and to be a part of it, even if from a distance, but, there's all sorts of different cool little perks and stuff along the way, and it's neat to have this like community of people that even if you don't know any of them, but we're all a part of a similar thing, and seeing this goal come to life. And
that's true.
So I've backed a lot of my friends' albums and stuff, helping support in that way, and I know I get like a lot of people were kind of weird about it, like donation kind of feeling to it or whatever, but it's like it's not a donation, it's a pre-order or or something like that. Like this is something I would have bought anyway. Once it finally was finished.
That's true. Yeah, you're just paying the tickets ahead of time.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's cool that these people have found a way to find their audience and then to make these projects come alive that maybe not otherwise would have ever seen the light of day. So and then I know podcasting has been taken off on Patreon also. A lot of people be able to support different shows there too so all sorts of different things. I've been trying to figure out. I've been talking about it, like about trying to maybe figure out how to get myself in there, but I haven't done it yet. But
on Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So I would like to see some more feature film from you and stuff. Like I said, Punching the Clown was one of my favorites, and
thanks.
So
yeah. We had a lot of fun making it. That was in 2008. So it's been a long time. But then 2009 it came out, and then we did the whole festival circuit. It won a bunch of awards, and then got on Netflix for a little while and ended up on Amazon. So people can see it on Amazon. You have to pay for it. Used to be that you just needed to be a member of Prime, but then Amazon changed all that. So
Yeah. It's I bought a DVD copy, and
oh yeah,
I think one of those times we hung out, I got you to autograph it. So
oh yeah, that's right. Remember DVDs?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Now it's just weird to think about. I have like this huge collection because like, you know, just again, I'm a big movie buff. So it's like, but it's like, that's kind of, you know, obsolete now. Like everything. I mean, I still have the players, but I mean, like you think about it now, everybody's collections, Netflix or whatever, you know, so.
Yeah, I know. I remember that was a very distinct moment because I owned all of the show The Wire, which I loved. And they had a great packaging and everything. And it was so cool for like maybe $40 or whatever. You'd unshrink wrap this amazing package, you know, that they obviously spent so much time on the packaging and the artwork and everything. And then you'd pull out that DVD and pop it in. And it was just like, oh, this is great. Yeah. That's how I watched The Wire. I didn't have HBO. I just bought the actual things. And then there was a interesting thing because I loaned it to a friend of mine, and I called him a couple weeks later saying, "Hey man, I got to get The Wire stuff back," and because sometimes I like to show it to people or whatever. And I didn't hear, and I was sort of, you know, kind of annoyed, but I was like, all right, I got to get that back at some point. And then some point during that time, I just kind of was like, well, it's on Netflix now, so I don't really care that much. And then now I really don't care if I ever see those DVDs again. It's like, it was very interesting to suddenly realize that you didn't need the physical thing anymore. Mm-hmm. That was really...
I do feel like it just in the same way vinyl records came back around and things. I feel like there will be a day when DVD and film comes back around that way too, like in some sort of physical format again. So.
Yeah, because you own it and people want to collect stuff, you know? Mm-hmm. I even have friends that don't watch stuff on YouTube. They download the videos like from their patrons, or there are things that they're supporting on Patreon or whatever. They'll download the videos and then have a folder with all of that stuff because they're collectors at heart and they like to see all the things that they possess, you know? Right. And I get that. But I mean, to me, I also have to think it's pretty silly. It's like, well, just go to YouTube if you ever want to watch the thing, you know, because everybody puts everything out there, you know? But
do you collect anything?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I did back in the day, but no, I was never really a big collector.
Yeah.
I just sort of always got practical stuff. I don't know why. I tried to collect comic books for a second, but back when I was like 14 or something, thinking, oh well, they've become so expensive. Maybe one day they'll be worth something, and then they just sort of didn't because it's sort of too late by that point. Like everybody in the world would have just bought them all, and that probably helped their sales a lot too. But so I was never really doing it for the reasons that I absolutely loved it. I just sort of was trying to get into collecting, but I never really did myself. Yeah. I just was sort of more into the practicality of it. As soon as records were done, I went right to cassettes, and then cassettes to CDs, and then CDs to stream. I always embraced whatever the new thing was. And I don't think I have any more records, but it is sad. I mean, because I really do like those old. I really do miss those old like album covers.
Sure.
They put so much work into them, and I don't know how you can see them. I guess you just do a Google image search for them or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
But like even iTunes, they just show you a little tiny square, and it's like you can't.
Right.
The band that I liked when I was a little kid was Styx, and every album of theirs, you'd open it up, and there'd be all kinds of really cool artwork, and then there'd be a lot of great verbiage and stuff, you know, text and everything, and you know, there's got to be some place that you can see all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could search for it, but...
Yeah. That's, I mean, exactly why I still like to buy vinyl records. I don't buy a ton. I try to support quite a few of my friends are printing on vinyl now again, and so I try to buy those when I can. And it's again, they're just fans at heart of the of vinyl and stuff. So that's why they like to see their name and their art on vinyl. So it's I like to try to support those projects when I can, and I have quite a few of those now in my collection. But it's just it's cool, man. Like I was saying, you get the larger art format, you get all the liner notes and everything. It's just like it's a whole process of music that's kind of like lost now. Like it's so much of music today is disposable in a sense. It's like people burn through whatever song's hot and then they forget about it and move on to the next one the next week. And so it's kind of not a lot of people celebrate these records or artists for years and years like they once did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I started with collecting basketball cards. I think that was my
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid. Like basketball was a huge part of my life, and I had a bunch of those, and then I kind of got out of that, but now it's pretty much just music and is what I collect now. So
that's great. Yeah. No, a lot of my friends are still into doing that.
Yeah.
I do have a hard time throwing away books, I will say. Textbooks from school back in the day, I still feel like I'm going to want to go over there every now and then and open up to a certain page. What was that thing I remember reading way back when? So I do like having that, but Well, you said you have the Henry's cookbooks. Do you ever do like a autobiography or anything like that? I might, yeah, because I do have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
And I'd love to put them all together. So that might be something I'll do one day.
Yeah. I was thinking about it on the way over, a good title. And when you were, now I'm blanking on the line you say, but when you do the song in hip hop.
Oh yeah. What do you want me to do about it? Yeah.
And then what's the line you say in that at the end of that? Damn it, I'm drawing a blank now. Something about motherfucker. Put it.
Why you be all up my shit, motherfucker? Yeah.
There you go.
Straight out of The Wire, actually. Yeah.
I was thinking that would be a good proper autobiography title there.
That's good. Yeah, that is a good one.
Why you be all up in my shit, motherfucker?
People would be like, "What's this?"
By
this
Henry
guy
Phillips.
Doesn't look like somebody who'd say that. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So it would have been a lot better had I not screwed it all up. So.
Screwed which up?
My brain fart.
Trying to remember that term. Oh, no, that's all right.
trying to. Yeah, that's usually what happens. I go to pull a reference, and then that's when I go blank. And
I do that all the time.
So you, like I said, you're here in St. Louis, October 28th, 29th, and 30th at the Pageant. You ever been over there yet? You ever played?
Yeah. I opened for Mike Birbiglia there a few years back.
Nice, yeah.
And I think Greg Warren and I also did a show there with the Friends of the Bob and Tom Show.
There you go.
I think that was with Mike Mckay and Augie Smith.
But yeah, it's a fun room for sure. And it'll be a wild night. I think there's a handful of tickets maybe. It might, even by the time you hear this, probably sold out. But if you are going, be sure to get there early and catch Henry opening these shows and have a good time. You're going to do your proper set? You're going to play some music in?
Oh, yeah. I'll do a little bit of stand-up at the top, and then I'll grab the guitar and...
there you go.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I really enjoy... like I said, I've been following many years, and I enjoy your music a lot. But I think, I guess, I don't know, you really document it like in Guitar Song, where you get to actually show that how good you are at playing guitar. Like, that's the whole bit. But like, it's just fun to see that you really are a fan and a talented musician, even though you're. Some of these songs are pretty silly sometimes, but
I enjoy being able to put my guitar playing in there because that's always been something that I've enjoyed doing, and it seems like it'd be kind of a waste to not have it in the act at all,
But have you ever do you get to showcase that in other ways besides the comedy of it? Like, do you play you ever play in any other bands or do anything like that?
Way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my high school years, I used to play in garage bands and
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
Yeah, and that was fun. But yeah, I haven't done that since probably maybe college days, you know.
Sure. Yeah. But I don't know. So it's just fun. Like I said, I like to get to kind of showcase that stuff. But you always you have this like, you know, more in the folk. Obviously, the singer, songwriter, guitar player. Has that always been a huge? Are you just a fan of it all, or is that how it kind of?
Yeah. No, I love it. I love Bob Dylan, Tom Waits, James Taylor. You know, Paul Simon, Tom Petty, like all the singer-songwriter genre.
Sure.
Big fan of it. And then, but I like all kinds of music, you know, you just go through phases, you know, you just like, oh, I'm into singer-songwriter stuff now, or now I'm into metal or whatever, you know, or punk or all jazz, classical, you know, it's all, you know, organized sound, you know, and it's great to listen to.
Right. Do you ever, when you were starting out and you go to these open mic nights and things, like, did you get people that were thinking it was all serious and then?
Oh yeah, that's the way it always starts.
Right.
Is that people? Because I tried intentionally to make it's the same with the kitchen videos. I tried
Right.
to make it sound like I'm gonna go on there and do a real singer-songwriter thing, like a folk thing, and then halfway through, all of a sudden, people would be like, "Oh wow, this guy's this guy's." I think he's joking, you know, and that was always a really fun part of it.
I haven't really gone through all the comments, but I was wondering about that same kind of thing with Henry's Kitchen. If like you get comments that people like, that aren't in on the joke, that they're like, this is the worst video, the worst.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, I get that. I get those types of comments all the time.
Yeah, I just it makes me laugh when like some of that stuff makes me laugh even harder. Like, just when you see like the way like being in the audience and then like them like not getting it or or something like that, and just it just makes me appreciate the moment so much more. That I'm having a great time, but the jokes either going over their head or whatever it is, and or like seeing a lot of times like I used to go to a lot of these like shows, and I'd sit next to my buddy Josh Arnold, and he'd be laughing so hard, and it would make me laugh even harder because of how awkward this whole moment is and stuff sometimes. And so some of that stuff even makes the moment even better. So
yeah. Well, it's trolling, and that's what I guess they would call it now. But yeah, I've always loved that. Spinal Tap was like the original.
Oh yeah.
Everybody thought it was real, and they marketed it that way. They wanted people to think that, and that was great. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like the humor snuck up on you.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. It's those guys are some of the best for sure. It would have been fun to be a part of that, like with those guys when they were.
Oh yeah.
Getting going.
They were having so much fun. Yeah, that was really cool.
Sure. Well, man, this has been a lot of fun, Henry. I'm really glad.
Thanks, Shane.
We got to sit and hang for a little while. Again, you can find everything at henryphillips.com.
Yeah, or, if you want to see some of these videos we're talking about, if you just put Henry's Kitchen into YouTube, it should come right up there.
Yeah. I did have just a couple of questions I've been running around town asking, and
Sure.
get your take on some of these.
Absolutely.
What you get to work with quite a few of your friends in whether it's film or music and stuff. And I know Mark Cohen was on your special and stuff. And but is there a dream duet or a collaboration you'd like to see for yourself?
Gosh, collaboration. Well, I mean, the guy that I am a huge fan of right now is Adam Mckay, who we were just watching Succession, and he directed the pilot for that. Everything that guy does is amazing in every way. It's smart humor or it's dumb humor or whatever, but it's great. He also made The Big Short and Step Brothers. and some other stuff. But just seems like a person who understands all sides of comedy and a little bit of realism and drama in there too, and great social commentary too. So yeah, I mean, as an actor, I'd love to be involved in anything that guy's doing. Other collaborations, I guess. Well, one that I've checked off was Mike Judge. I mean, I was always a huge fan of his, and then when he put me in Silicon Valley, it was great to be a part of executing something that was his vision. Because I mean, Office Space, I think it's one of the best movies of all time, and I felt like we were hitting a lot of those notes with what we did on Silicon Valley too. So
yeah, Office Space is for sure classic. Idiocracy also is so good. Yeah, I'm a big Mike Judge fan also. Mm-hmm. Do you do any celebrity impressions? Has that ever been out?
Let me see here. I mean, way back in the day, like 30 years ago, I did a pretty good Michael J. Fox, but I don't even think I could try it. I'm going to try it. It's going to be embarrassing. Come on. I can't even do it anymore. It's not even there. The voice isn't there anymore. Not really.
Yeah. That's just fun to put people on the spot.
Yeah. I wish I had one.
Yeah. Is there, what about, I'm talking about some of the greats for songs, songwriters and stuff. Is there a song you wish you wrote? Is there
a song that I wish I wrote? Yeah, I mean, there's tons. The Invitation to the Blues by Tom Waits. I would say most of the songs on the album Small Change, I wish I wrote. Tom Waits. Just unbelievable. I mean, just ridiculous how great that album is and how much it influenced, a lot of what I do. Great melody writing and lyrics, but with a lot of humor injected in there. It's not quite as like there's a tongue in cheek throughout the whole thing. It's not dead serious, The Piano Has Been Drinking is another one, So certainly that songs that I wish I wrote. If I Had $1 Million by Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah. That's a great song that I wish I would have written. Mostly because then I'd have $1 million. I think that's $1 million song. It's a great one. It's timeless and it's great the way that they recorded it and everything. But yeah, I could see doing that one on stage and people really enjoying it. Yeah.
Well, that's another, and also there's humor in it. So.
Totally. I started going more toward trying to think of comedy songs that I could actually do something with. Like, I wish I could have written, Famous Blue Raincoat by Leonard Cohen, but what am I going to do with it? It would be really weird in my act.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. We can give it a try.
Yeah.
Maybe see how it goes over. All right. The day comes along. We have a Henry Phillips biopic. Who would you like to see cast to play you in the movie?
Well, everybody's getting older and older, but if it were me in the early 90s, Michael Cera was one that I always thought would be cool, but he's pretty old now too. So I don't know, somebody dry and underspoken. You wouldn't want somebody just kind of brassy or good looking. It's just get somebody who's just mellow. So I'm not really sure who some of those people are. Yeah. But I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah. Yeah, that would and I don't know, Michael Cera, that wouldn't be, I think that could work.
Yeah.
Maybe see if we can make that happen.
Just need to find somebody in their 20s, because that would probably be a real important part of the story.
Again, thank you, Henry, for doing this, man. It's
Shane.
Been super cool. So
great.
You can find, again, henryphillips.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow along on Patreon also. And come out on October 27th, 28th, 20, or
28 through 30.
28,
Yeah.
29, 30. There it is. Yeah, for the LUDO shows. But yeah, man,
a lot of fun.
Yep, I'm excited about that. It's gonna be a good night. And but yeah, appreciate you doing this, and I will see you soon.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Henry. Bye, everyone.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.